So everybody knows that, they put these demonic symbols, Baphomet symbols, in their political stuff. If you guys remember that they put all the Baphomet statues, in front of every courthouse for the last 5, 6 years. They've been doing it. Here in Arkansas, they did. Oklahoma, everywhere. It was because they knew this ritual was getting ready to go down. And all these black people killing each other in the streets, and all the murder, death, and mayhem surrounding them in places like Chicago and New York. Okay? Those rituals, they were designed for a reason. Okay? Bloodletting and sacrifices to Satan. Okay? And so when we see these things, it shouldn't be a shock to anyone. And that's why I personally follow the teachings of Christ. Because why? Because guess what? Whether or not you believe in it, like I've said before, you think it's bullshit, a Jewish-controlled religion, blah, blah, blah. Christianity shows us who the real enemy is, okay? And the people who run this place, they are satanic, okay? That's what they're following. So you'd be remiss not to learn what the antithesis to the Satan is, okay? And what he taught. The guy who would go in at 12 years old and go into the synagogues, the places of worship, and flip the tables over and tell the Jews there, hey, what are you doing? You made my father's house into a den of thieves. You people are the synagogue of Satan. Okay? That's why I follow Christ. Because at 12, he had more balls than 99.9% of grown adults today. And that's what I'm talking about. There's no more balls left. Where'd they all go? Okay? And so I see people starting to stand up, stand their ground, okay? And they don't know yet what to do. They don't look to their left and look to their right and see the sea of people that they think they need in order to stand up. But you can stand up, ready yourself, and the sea of people they'll come. They'll be there, okay? It's hard, guys. It really is, to know what to do whenever you've never really lived through it. I was on Twitter today. Some asshole, people of color, person of color, tweeted something out that triggered me a little bit, and I let him know, hey, bitch, you've never had racism pointed at you in your life. You're a 23-year-old, 24-year-old guy, and you've never had any racism pointed towards you. Don't lie and say you have. Your mama, who's only 15 years older than you, she never had no racism pointed at her either, buddy. You people were all born after the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, okay? After 2000, a lot of these people out there. And they don't know what it means to be truly oppressed. But they sure, and that's another thing, guys. You hear these Candace Owens and your Larry Elders and your Jussie Lee Petersons telling you that, and speaking for the white man, speaking in his place. But it's a pale imitation to letting somebody like me, or a real strong white man, go out and talk for themselves. Instead of being shadow banned and taken off and ripped out of there, they let black people talk for us whites because they don't want whites talking to whites. Because the last time a white man talked to other white people, you recall, okay? And it didn't end well for a certain tribe of people, okay? Whatever you believe on the subject, I really don't give a fuck what you believe. I know the setups when I see them. I know all the lies, the racial hoaxes, and the Holocaust deniers, and everything that goes into that. I know, guys, I don't need to be explained to. What I'm telling you is this. They don't want us to be strong. They don't want us to, obviously, right? And we know that. But it's time. It's time for us all to rise up. Nordic just made a video, white man, when are you going to stand up? And I do wonder that myself, but it's not too far off, Nordic. It really isn't. Okay? And like I said, I think that these COVID trackers they put in everybody's phones were never for COVID, and it wasn't for the 9,000 people who actually died of COVID. Come on, let's get real. It was to track all these people that are out there doing things and setting things on fire. A really good tracking system, okay, that opens up your phone and lets them read, instead of having to crack into your tweets and your your emails and all that. Well, if they have the COVID tracker in there, it'll open up your phone so they can read when you're on the move and everything you do on your phone at all times. That's what that's for. That's some that's some Mossad shit, boys. Okay? And that's what you're living in. And they know now who the agitators are. They know who's going to fill the FEMA camps up. So I really don't have any fear of it at all. Like I said, I'm never going to be placed in a FEMA camp anyway. So it doesn't make any difference to me because I'll never go through the gates of a FEMA camp. I'll be dead long before. I'll be dead in my own home. They're going to have to do that to me, and that's fine. They can try that. There'll be a pile of bodies around me. So, and they know that's what's going to happen. I just think that they're doing this to they're doing this with the military. That's what they're going to do it with. They can't do it with the cuckold police force that has been defunded because all the, people that they got to run those cities and run the police departments and run the, everything, guys. All your city councils are all cucked and they're all been compromised. And then they showed Jeffrey Epstein getting popped at the highest levels, supposedly, right? And that was to scare all those people into doing what they wanted them to do. And then they hit them with, hey, stand down, let these black people do whatever they want. And because they were in there touching kids and doing all the stuff that they do, well, of course, they stood down and they sided up. They read the script just like they were supposed to. So this plan is to dismantle America as we're seeing it so the New World Order can come in. Like I've said millions of times, they cannot have a New World Order unless their COINTELPRO plan goes through. And that's what you're seeing, a counterintelligence plan, asymmetrical warfare to create dissension amongst the people of the populace of this country. Very simple plan, guys. Just break it down and see. Open your eyes and see. Anyway, many of you do, I know that. But many of you don't. And I'm one of those people that believes if you put things out into the world and you put it out there verbally, that it makes a difference. It brings it into reality, okay? It's not like The Secret or any of that crap. It's not like that. Boy, I tell you, what we're seeing on the screen, isn't it indicative of the time that we're living in? I mean, everything that's been taught to our white children. Yeah, just go ahead. You guys did it all. You're devils. Yeah. It's all about to come to a head, boys. Let's get it together.